Welcome. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Brian, but for those of you who do know me, you probably wouldn't have guessed, but I have been training in a very specific skill set, one which allows me to divine the cosmos and read into people's souls in order to make us all discover just a little bit extra about ourselves. What I do is that I allow people to just open up their minds and take into consideration everything that we already know, yet everything that we don't know about ourselves and the world. For those of you who believe me and have trust in my abilities, I suggest you use this time to just take some earphones, as they'll greatly enhance the experience. But for those of you who have no faith in my abilities whatsoever and believe this is all made up, I suggest you pause this video, close the window, just refrain from making any nasty comments slagging my abilities, because as long as I have faith in them, as long as one other person has faith in my abilities, I will continue to do this. Now, for the rest of you, we're going to just take this slow, one step at a time. First of all, we're going to have a look at my divination for this week's cosmos. Luckily, however, I've already done that for you, and I've already planned out my chart. The most important thing happening this week, however, is how Mercury and Mars start to align this week. The alignment of Mars and Mercury will climax about Wednesday, or in the middle of the week at the very least. And what this means for you is that you will find yourself in the middle of a deep conflict. Now, this conflict may not have been started by you, it may have been started by someone else, you might have had no part in this whatsoever, but just know that you will find yourself in the middle of a very deep and complex conflict. However, what you need to keep in mind is that every argument has two sides. There's your side and the other side, the side that you know and the side that you don't know. What you need to do, now that you're watching this and now that you're committed to listening to everything I say, is that I can't force you, but I would like you to try your best to keep an open mind, and that when you do find yourself in conflict, I want you to just open your mind and realize that there are two sides. Now, of course, you maybe think that your side is better than the other person's, but try this simple exercise in the week. Have a look at the other person. Have a look at what they've done, at every negative action which has taken place. Now take every single negative action and reframe it such that it is actually a positive action. For example, a person may have been nagging you. Maybe they were nagging you, or maybe they just care a lot about you and can't express it well enough without sounding annoying or irritating. Or maybe it's not just that simple, maybe this is a complex thing you're going through. But once you realize that there are two sides to it, just take a step back and sit down and talk things out. Because that is the only way you are going to solve this. Otherwise it will just snowball and escalate, and to the point where it is out of your control. And that is my divination of the cosmos for this week. Now let's move into something a little bit more personal. For this, in 5 seconds I would like you to close your eyes. And by doing so, I want you to have absolute trust in everything I'm about to walk you through. Your eyes should be closed by now. Now, what I want you to do is envision happiness. Take this happiness and give it a color if you can. Let this color take hold of your hands so that the color is wrapping itself around your hands. Let all of the color, all of the happiness concentrate itself into your hands. From there, let it spread up your arms and into your torso. From your torso, let it sink down into your feet and rise into your head until you feel completely calm and relaxed. Once this has been achieved, pause this video for as long as you wish until this has been achieved. But once you feel completely calm, I want you to open your eyes and look right into mine. What this achieves is that I am now going to connect with you through this video, as unlikely as it seems, to create a personalized analysis of you, and you only. The first thing I see in your eyes is a sense of guilt. Obviously, the happiness experiment didn't work as I'd planned, because I still feel a lot of negative energy. This guilt, no, I was thinking that it might have been something to do with my divination from before about conflict, and maybe you're just good at starting arguments and fights, but I sense this is a lot more deep-rooted than that. I sense that this goes down a lot deeper. Judging from what I'm feeling right now, I sense that the guilt that you feel is your inability to control actions, with your inability to act, like a feeling that just holds you down and allows you to just sit there and do nothing. Am I close? I hope I'm close, because this guilt, it feels like it's kind of guilt where you feel guilty for things that are out of your control. Yep, that's it. I think I got spot on there. If I didn't, I'm sorry, but you must not be radiating enough of your energy through to me. So this guilt you feel about things that are out of your control, I don't know how I can help you, but we're going to at least try to find the problem and pinpoint this, because right now I sense that the guilt stems from deep within you, so that although the actions are out of your control, like this guilt is out of your control and you feel guilty for things that you just can't control. Yep, sorry I've repeated myself there, but this guilt lies deep within you, and I think we can attribute this guilt to this deep resource you have that you have not been able to tap into, this great well of something I can't really put my finger on, creativity, knowledge, something along those lines that you just can't tap into, or you're not allowed to tap into. But all I can say is that you can't let anyone else stop you from doing whatever you want to do. And I don't mean that in the way that you can do whatever the hell you want and not get away with anything, but maybe just be a bit easy on authority. Like, I sense that this whole struggle you have really has made you hate authority. Not hate authority, just disrespect and just think little of authority and authority's place in our society. But remember that authority is there to protect us and that there are repercussions for our actions. But back on topic. Remember that your resource, your abilities, are only limited by you and no one else. Once you have gathered that, maybe the guilt will lift. Now, I hope this has helped, and maybe I'll make another video next week. If you've watched through all this and you didn't take my advice before by pausing and closing your window, go ahead, write whatever you want now that you've watched the whole thing. Thanks, actually. Feels good, doesn't it? But if you want something more personalized, feel free to just private message me or contact me however you wish, and I can always set something up, maybe a bit more personalized, a bit more directed at you, and maybe I'll see you all next week.